So it took me a long time to come up with this list, but the number one thing that I want to see happen in Season 5 of The Dragon Prince is this. Guys, we need a new delicious dessert curated by Barris himself. No? That's anticlimactic? Why? What's going on, everyone? James here, and today we're going to get into 5 things that I want to see happen in Season 5 of The Dragon Prince. And for real this time, we're not talking anything about Barris. It's going to get pretty serious, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this list, because at the end of this video, I'm going to be reading your responses to my question of, what do you want to see happen in Season 5? I can't wait to read some of your responses. If I don't get to all of them, I'm sorry, but I promise you, I read each and every response. Now, this week on the channel is going to be so much fun, so you're going to want to get subscribed down below, because I have my reviews coming up for The Flash, Elemental, and we're going to be breaking down the very first look at the live-action Netflix series for Avatar: The Last Airbender. You heard that right. Yeah, Saturday at Netflix Tadum, they're apparently unveiling the very first official look at this live-action adaptation. And I'm so excited. I can't wait. This cast is just great. But right now we're talking all about The Dragon Prince Season 5, which again is expected to drop next month in July. Do we know when in July? No, I'm guessing the middle of July. It would be great to see it maybe drop on a holiday weekend, because it gives people time to watch, but I have to imagine it's going to be mid-July. We haven't even gotten a trailer yet, so I'm not confident it's coming out early July. We're not here to talk release dates, though. We're here to talk about 5 things I want to see happen in Season 5, because I just got done watching, again, for the second time, it's my second rewatch of Seasons 1 through 4. The first rewatch, I was like, you know what? Season 4 is a little weak. But on another rewatch, I thought to myself, wait, it's actually not that bad. However, there are some areas of opportunity in where they can improve for Season 5. So let's waste no more time, y'all. And again, hey, if you haven't already, just hit the thumbs up button so this video can get in the faces of more Dragon Prince fans. And let me know down below in the comments, if you haven't already, in the community post, what you think of these 5 things and what's one more you'd add to the list. Alrighty, y'all. So let's get started. We're going to start right at the top here with number 5. We need to see a more mature tone compared to Season 4. Now, I get it, this series is geared towards a younger audience, but the stakes need to be felt. We're long past due for this show taking a nice turn. Season 3 had this epic Avengers-style conclusion where we saw Viren fall, literally, and Aaravos, well, his plan was foiled. But Season 4 was teasing this new saga, the start of a new saga, right? Mystery of Aaravos. And at that point, I figured, okay, well, Aaravos is going to turn into full Thanos and is going to go and be that overarching villain we've been waiting to see unfold. And it didn't really happen. I mean, episode 4 of Season 4 is the best episode for a reason, at least in my opinion. It's because we start to really see Aaravos tamper with the goodness of our characters that we love, like Callum, and, you know, take control of Callum, for goodness sakes, and start to actually make an impact on the show. Now, his impact, of course, was felt in Season 3 as well, but in Season 4, I can't lie to you, Aaravos felt like a sideline character. So we really do need to see Aaravos front and center in Season 5 in order to really begin to feel like, hey, this show is going to get much darker. And another thing that this show can do to maybe help get to that point of a more mature tone is eliminating all of the fart jokes and any sort of references to trendy dances like flossing. That was a big gripe with me, as the writing in Season 4 did take a step backward compared to Seasons 1 through 3. And I don't think we need any more fart jokes. I don't care if Terry's farts smell like petrichor. It's dumb, okay? It's dumb. So if they get rid of that, I think it will actually help make Season 5 feel more like it has weight to it. There's a gravity, right, that Season 5 needs to have for us to feel. And if we get rid of those jokes, if we get rid of stupid references, meta humor, all that stuff, I think we'll actually start to see Season 5 turn into what we thought Season 4 was going to be, which was a darker, more mature turn of events for this series. So I really am hopeful we'll get that, and it's one thing that I want to see. But number 4 for me is probably something you didn't really think about too much, but it's something that was on my mind, especially after rewatching Season 4. I believe that we need an Archdragon this season to join Zubeia and the team and actually survive past 2 episodes. See, I am all for this series giving us more arch dragons, and it seems like, according to me and so many other fans out there and our theories, that Dominia Profundus, the ocean arch dragon, is going to find herself in this season. And if that's the case, I hope that Dominia Profundus has a profound impact from start to finish in season 5, because Rex Igneous, as much as I do think Rex Igneous was a cool character, wonderful voice acting of course, it just kind of felt like another stumbling block for Callum and the gang. There was really not much of a serious impact for me, and it was almost too little too late in season 4. However, if they do introduce Dominia Profundus early and we get Dominia Profundus to join Zubeia and actually help stop Aaravos if Aaravos does break out of prison, I think this could turn out to be a very good thing for season 5. There might actually be bigger and more grand action sequences, and I do think that, well, we need another dragon to make their presence felt outside of just Zubeia. I'm not forgetting about Zim, but Zim is still not a grown man. Zim is still like a teenager, I guess, so Zim can only do so much. So yeah, I'd love to see an Archdragon join Zubeia, and if it is Dominia Profundus, would be wonderful. But let's get them on screen for longer than just 2 episodes. Alrighty, so for me, number 3 is going to be this. We need a major character to either be written off or killed. Okay, I know not every TV show needs to kill off their characters, I get it, but guys, we're in season 5. We only have 2 more seasons left because, as you know, they've renewed this series all the way through season 7, which is reportedly the last season of this series. If that's the case, we gotta start writing off some of these major characters in clever ways or killing them off. Yeah, we got Ibis's death at the hands of Terry in season 4, but Ibis is not really a major character. I mean, okay, Ibis means a lot to so many fans, including myself, but Ibis didn't really move the needle for me. It actually made me a little bit more fearful of Terry because he's got a bit of a dark side to him. However, I don't necessarily think that Ibis is the one to fulfill this need or this want of mine in season 5. I think they gotta do this. Viren either needs to be written off or killed in season 5. Okay, I know some of you were saying he needs to get a redemption arc, and it's possible they can do this by having him sacrifice himself to save Callum and the gang, not Claudia. Because Soren and Viren, of course, kind of reunite at the end of season 4. And of course, we do see Viren playing with dark magic again, so the man is a little unhinged. However, there's something in Viren's bones, in his heart, that I think he will somehow sacrifice himself to save the good team. So I think he'll sacrifice himself even more so in this instance because Soren is there. Claudia, I'm sorry y'all, Claudia, forget Claudia. She is consistently picking the wrong side of history to fall on, and she's also rude. If it wasn't for Terry, you know, Runan, Tiendrin, and Lane would still be in her coin pouch instead of, you know, Claudia throwing it to Rayla at the end of season 4. So I do think that we need to see Viren possibly be written off or killed this season. Now, if that doesn't happen, I think this is another scenario that I would like to see, even though it would break my heart. Runan sacrificing himself to save Rayla, Tiedrin, and Lane. Can you imagine that? Runan saying, guys, I got this. And they're saying, oh, no, don't do it. You know, in traditional TV tropes, all that stuff. But I think Runan is, gosh, I mean, he's been locked up in that coin for so long that now that he's out and he sees everything that's happening, I think he'd be willing to sacrifice himself for Rayla. Can you imagine, y'all? That would be emotional. I'd probably cry on camera. Alrighty, so let's get into number 2, and that's this. We need more Aaravos in season 5, and this is a non-negotiable. Aaron Ehaz, if you're listening, we love you. I love you. But we just need more Aaravos in season 5. I get that you don't want to overexpose audiences to your big bad too soon. I mean, we got the most Thanos that we saw on screen, for example, in the MCU with Infinity War and Endgame. However, we need more time with Aaravos, because if this is truly going to be Aaravos' saga arc, you know, mystery of Aaravos, the only mystery I have in my head after season 4 is why didn't we get more time with him on screen? He hardly felt like he had a presence in Season 4, and that was really disappointing to me. But I do think since we only have up to Season 7 renewed and the show is ending with Season 7, it's time to start including Aaravos in more solo episodes. I think Season 5 can spare one Aaravos-centric episode. It would be really cool if it's a flashback episode where he is sitting in prison, just kind of minding his business. We start to see events unfold as we know them from seasons 1 to 4. But once we get chronologically in that episode to where he's at in season 5, can you imagine if that's his prison break? That's when he breaks out. And it's just like we learn all of the evil, nasty things that Aaravos did, and that makes his escape from prison even more impactful. That's what they need to do. They need to introduce more story beats for Aaravos. The minute we got him in episode 4 last season, it was amazing. And then we didn't get him again. Alrighty, y'all. So the number one thing that I want to see happen in season 5 of The Dragon Prince is this. I need more Rayllum moments. Enough is enough, y'all. Stop playing with my heart, okay? And my emotions and my feelings and all of the above. Because Rayla and Callum desperately needed a genuine Rayllum moment in season 4. I'm sorry, the end of season 4 and the finale where they hug and they have a solo hug between them both for like 2 seconds and then everyone else joins in, not good enough, okay? And we saw Soren interrupt Rayla and Callum as well, if I'm not mistaken, in season 4. So it seems to be like this thing where they're shying away from Rayllum, but they can't do that any longer. I desperately believe that if they want to make season 5 successful, you need to give us a genuine Rayllum moment or several moments. In my mind, it would make sense to have a Rayllum episode where it's just about Rayla and Callum hashing out their feelings and Rayla eventually apologizing to Callum. You know, for a while I was thinking, she has got nothing to really apologize for. Callum needs to stop being so standoffish, and he does, but I do believe he has a good reason as to why he's a bit upset with Rayla. I get it, season 4, the finale, it seems like Callum put that off to the side, so what better time than in season 5 to give them moments together, a kiss, a genuine conversation about the future. Hello, I know they're young, but come on, they're already trying to fend off the craziest elf that in the world has ever seen. So yeah, dog, they're mature. So they should give them more mature moments where, I mean, I'm talking about mature in terms of tone, okay? Just give them hugs. Let them talk about it, you know? It's just something for me that I think needs to happen. But yeah, that's the number one thing that I want to see happen in season 5, because enough is enough, y'all. We've waited so long for season 4, and we're not waiting too much longer for season 5, but come on, Rayllum moments, we need them. So those are the 5 things I want to see happen in season 5, but I'm curious about yours. So I pulled up some comments from the community post where I asked you what you want to see, right? And thank you so much, because there were like 95 responses, I think, and I'm so grateful for each one. So I pulled a handful, and let's get into it. Adriana says, really want some Janai and Amaya moments, and to see how the cooperation between elves and humans develop. I actually really love this response because it's something I didn't necessarily think about. In season 4, the C plot, because there was an A plot, a B plot, and then the C plot with the elves and the humans and their conflict, and I think that this is actually a good thing to want to see happen, because it's very likely that we will see that in season 5. In some of the first look images, we see Janai giving what looks to be the Sunforged blade that she has to Amaya, because I'm guessing Amaya is going to join Rayla and the gang and try to stop Aaravos, and then Janai takes care of everything with her Sunfire elf peoples and the humans. But what about Kareem? I mean, the man is kind of going rogue. I still think he's going to try to usurp Janai, even though he's like the worst brother. Sorry, he's the worst. But yeah, I think he'll be unsuccessful, but I would love to see this happen. So Adriana, that's a great response. Brenna writes in and says, Teodran, Lane, and Runan getting out of the coins, Runan and Athari reuniting, and I would also like to see a scene where Rayla is looking at one of the coins and talking to it, promising to get them out, preferably Runan's, and telling him she's sorry for disappointing him, telling him what has happened, that they brought Zim back to his mother, and that she misses him. Brenna, you are onto something here, because I do think we'll get that solo moment. In one of the first look images, we see Stella, Rayla, and what looks to be a coin that either is entrapped or entrapping Runan, Teodrin, or Lane, and I think that could be where she starts to have that conversation with the coin, when of course subconsciously with Runan, if that is Runan. But another thing I liked here that I didn't think of was Runan and Athari reuniting. Ah, gosh, can you imagine that happening? Or right before Runan sacrifices himself. Oh, the pain, the pain. But this was a great response, Brenna, so thank you. Good friend of the channel, Gamer Sasha, writes in, I would love it if Rayla and Nyx met again sometime during the time skip and had to travel together for a week. That could buy us a couple of flashbacks or just more insight on what Rayla was doing for 2 years. Or I would love it if Team Zim traveled somewhere Rayla went during the time skip and for her to be a guide. You know what? I admittedly forgot that we're getting Nyx in this season. I mean, of course, I didn't like totally forget, but at least when producing this video, I didn't consider Nyx being a big part of season 5, but I could definitely see Rayla and Nyx having that conversation together and really sort of taking us on an adventure with them, possibly. That would be really cool. So I would really love to see that. And again, thank you so much for your support on the channel and for this response. So now I want to pull up a ton of comments that you guys all had with Rayllum. Let's just look at them now. I love it, you guys. It is just incredible to see you all writing in about Rayllum and their relationship, and I agree, we need more Rayllum moments and scenes. It was lacking in the last season, like we just talked about, but it would be really cool to see them make up in a satisfying way. Thank you all so much for confirming all of my feelings about needing more Rayllum. Alrighty, so I got a couple of more responses I do want to read out loud here. So one of them is from another supporter of the channel, and I really hope I don't mispronounce your name. I'm sorry if I do, but Gij Dejong wrote in and said, more backstory for Aaravos, because we still don't know why he did all of this. And you know what? I guess that kind of falls into line with what I wanted too in my list, which is we need more moments with Aaravos, and this would actually be really cool to see his backstory. So maybe not just his time in prison, but what he did before that. I know Zubeia talked a little bit about that in season 4, and we got that really cool moment where it's Rayla, Stella, and Ez on Zubeia just kind of flying, gliding through, and they talk about Aaravos, and she gives some backstory, but it's backstory through the eyes of Zubeia. It's not through the eyes of Aaravos. We need to see that. I would love that in season 5. Alrighty, so the last response I want to go ahead and read here is from a Legend of Zelda nerd who is a supporter of the channel, so thank you for writing in. And they wrote, I would love to see more of the Aaravos and Callum dynamic. And that sort of falls into line with another response I saw that came from Mage Boy, who said, hopefully I'm not too late. You're never too late. You're right on time. And they wrote, I'd love to see Callum having some sort of trauma, and I guess that trauma unfolding on screen. So you know what? For both of you, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I do think we need to see more of that dynamic unfold, and that could go back to the impact Aaravos would have from season 5 all the way to the end of the show in season 7. It's time that they sort of take off the leash and say, Aaravos, go forth and do crazy things, because it's about time, y'all. I'm just sort of over the every once in a while cameo by Aaravos. Hey, if this saga is called, which it is, Mystery of Aaravos, it's time we start learning about that mystery and getting more Aaravos. So again, thank you all so much for writing in, and for the comments I didn't read, I promise you I saw them and I love them, and I can't wait to continue interacting with each of you as we get closer to July and into July, because you're going to want to stay subscribed to the channel. I'm dropping all my reactions, we're talking all about season 5 and all the news in between, because we still got to wait for a trailer. Some more first look images, I'm sure, and possible clips, so you're getting those reactions right here from me on the channel as fast as I can get them up. Again, I can't do any of this without your support, so thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Alright, maybe I was lying. I do need to see Bears come up with a new jelly tart treat, because I'm really hungry now that my sweet tooth is going.